As a follow-up to the judge hearing that crooked cops passed with the Albert family, this morning, day 6 of trial, the judge told them what she would and would not allow in from that guy. He's actually testifying right now, but let me show you what the judge decided to let in and not let the jury hear. Or not let the jury hear. Here it is.
Allow you to get in is the relationship of Sergeant Lank with the Alberts. But keep in mind, Mr. Jackson, the Alberts are not all one entity. So you must do it individually, and simply because the witness had a relationship with Chris Albert doesn't mean that it has any bearing on favoritism or bias to Brian Albert or to Tim Albert. So you have to do them individually. I'll give you some leeway on the incident itself, but keep in mind the particulars of the fight isn't really what matters here. It's the fact of the fight and the intervening of Sergeant Lank on behalf of Chris Albert as it's relevant to bias or favoritism. So if there are objections that you get beyond, you may be stopped. You can get when and where it happened, that it happened outside a bar where the witness had been drinking. He did not acknowledge your drinking buddy's comment, so you're not to specifically say that, where you just said you're going to outline what you did yesterday, and that this occurred in Canton. The role, if any, he had in handcuffing or having the Lapalitos put in custody, and the fact that Mark Lapalito went to the Canton Police Department to file a report. What you cannot get into is the mobile gas station incident, because I didn't hear anything yesterday that the conduct of Sergeant Lank had anything to do with the Alberts. I'm not convinced that it wasn't merely self-interest on his part. So that's out. That was 22 years ago. Nothing, so you're not getting into the federal investigation that he was sued. I'm not letting you get into the not guilty because it's speculative. Who knows why he was found not guilty, why they were found not guilty. You cannot get into that. There are all kinds of reasons people can be found not guilty. Whether I allow more depends on the testimony, the direct and the cross. So you are to go no further than that without leave of court. So the Commonwealth can then get into the animosity between the witness, Sergeant Lank, and Brian Albert because of the arrest of Tim Albert. But if, Mr. Lally, if you open the door to something further, I need to be seen at sidebar before anybody can come get into that. So, Mr. Jackson, you did this in 10 minutes yesterday. I don't expect you to take 2 hours to do this. Okay, and just as an aside again, let's not waste the jury's time with repetitive testimony.
I don't intend to, Your Honor. I think I understand the court's the parameters.